Hey guys, um, happy to be here again, to check in with you guys. Um, if you're watching this through video, then you can see that I changed up my hair. I finally got the color in. It is like a gunmetal. Um, it is like a gunmetal with purple roots. So if you take a look at my roots here, if you can see them, yeah, they're all purple. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, when you get your hair done by somebody, just so you know, that first day that you get it done, and then the following week or two after that, your hair changes. So if for any reason you feel like it's too dark, then you just give it a week, you give it 2 weeks, and it'll lighten up and it'll become the color that you want, you know? So don't be worried if your hair comes out too dark when you decide to put color into it. Um, and something else that uh, I needed to follow, is that I have a lot of friends who do hair, you know, and whenever I have conversations with them, they're always like, oh, next time you do something, let me know. Maybe I could help you out with that, and and yeah, I appreciate it, but um, I'm not sure if what you're using, the products that you're using, are the same or if they're worse than what I usually get my hair done with. So, like this time around, what I saw was that when I put the green in, we did a shadow root that was black, and I went to somebody else for that. And that black actually could not pull out. Like it just became brown. So we had like this shade of brown, past my roots, right? But then the length of my hair was fine and my roots were fine, but it was just like that middle part that just wouldn't um it wouldn't the color wouldn't come out of it, because you want your hair to be as you want it to get pulled as much as possible so that you can then add the color and know that it's going to stay. Um, so I will definitely go to the same person repeatedly, because that way I know that it's reliable and I know that I'm not using any products that um, could damage my hair, or if I want another color in it, then um, the hair will actually turn out like it's not gonna. I want to be able to count on my hair, and my hair is pretty healthy. So happy, very happy, very happy with the way that it turned out. So the other day I saw that my friend shared a post from V2, and it had to do with Get Lucky. So last year in 2020, it got postponed, and if you had tickets, you could just take those tickets to Get Lucky 2021, and we're in 2021 right now, and Get Lucky would have been like a month away, right? Um, but now they're saying it's being pushed back again to 2022. Just save your ticket for that. Um, I didn't think that by starting this new year, we were gonna continue to struggle with this. Not be able to go to shows, and pretty much postponing a lot of these like events that we missed last year. We missed a whole year, and now we're gonna miss 2 years of it. Uh, it it sucks, but it's better to just accept it now and work on things that you can control. That's it. Um, Big events like that, like I don't even know how you would make those happen, because there's just so much that's going on that I think it would have such a pushback that even if they took place, like it'd probably get shut down. And that sucks because we've had those for years. Like we've been going to them just fine. Everybody's been safe, right? But then, but at this point, I think people are just so scared of how the climate is right now, and they just don't want this, like this event to be like a super spreader. Uh, but but it makes me sad, because when you don't have a night to rave and you don't dance like you usually would dance at a rave, you know how much energy I have now that I'm not using it on a weekend at a rave. When I would go to a rave, I do like 15,000 steps easy, easy, in one night. And that was just, in a few hours. So my body was like, it um it adjusted to that. So now that I don't have that, it's like now you just have to do more cardio to like maintain your body. You got to do more fucking cardio, you know. Um, oh my goodness. Oh, but we've been keeping on with the cardio. It's actually been going really well, and um, what I've noticed is like my body adjusts within like 3 times that I do the same exercise. So if I go to the gym 3 different times that I'm working on the same thing, um, it's like a progression, right? So I do it that first time and I'm just kind of like learning it. I'm like trying to see like where do I put my footing, and then the next time I already know what I'm doing. I'm just like improving on that. And then the third time, it's like my body knows what I'm about to do. It just knows how to handle it. I was doing some interval training with a jog, like a 1 minute jog, and and 10 up and downs, and then I would go from 10 to 9 to 8 to 7 to 6 with 1 minute runs in between, right? And usually I'll do my first two. I'll do 10, and then I'll run for a minute, and then jump off and do 9, and then run for a minute. And usually when I do that, I'm actually like winded because I have a heavy ass body, so um, it's a lot to move around, and it just because I've built this muscle over time, it's really just like weights that I carry with me everywhere I go. Um, yeah, they're capable of doing things, but it's also pretty heavy. It's exhausting. So I yeah, so usually I'm like sweating like really hard after 2, and then I still have 7, and then I still have 6, and then I still have 5, all the way down to 1. Um, and this time around I did 10, and I did 9, and I wasn't even sweating, not one bit. Like my body had acclimated itself so well that it just knew, oh, this is the beginning. Like what you're doing right now is you're starting the workout right now. Like you still have 20 minutes of this, 20 minutes of this, or more. And what I've been seeing is I've been doing 40 minutes. Like because my body knows that, it knows to not get tired and not burn itself out so early. So I've been really, I guess I've been putting this in like the center of my mind, but I've been really wanting to get a dog, right? And I followed some pages on Facebook, and then I just get all these suggested pages, like friends of that person, that the person who, it's interesting. It's like a community that all they care about is their dog. Like, I don't know, that's a little much, because like when it comes to me, like I gotta take care of myself first. Okay, if I can take care of myself first, if I can take care of my environment first, then I can have the privilege to own a dog. But if I can't do that, then like I cannot substitute my happiness and what I should be working on with something else, meaning the dog. You know, I can't put so much of my attention on that I am not taking care of the things that I need to take care of. So it's something I want, but it's not something I'm rushing into. And I was over at a friend's house last night unexpectedly, and I got to see this dog. So I have a friend who he let me know when he had a litter of these dogs, and I so I wasn't ready. I definitely wasn't ready to buy a dog at that point, but I wanted to entertain the idea. Like fuck, like um, can I do it? You know, how much is it gonna cost? And maybe get some advice. You know, and when I saw that dog at my friend's house last night, that dog is huge. That dog is massive. He's like a little kid. I can tell just by like looking at him, right? Looking at his eyes. He like hides and like goes underneath tables and stuff, and but he's massive. So if he goes underneath the table, he's actually like knocking over everything on the table. Like it it doesn't make sense, you know, but he has this massive like buff body, and I was so close to getting one of those dogs. Um, Being around that last night, I was like, hmm, I can stick to a Frenchie, and I think I'm good. I think I could just I can I can handle I can handle a Frenchie. It'd be so much better. I would hope that the dog would understand me and um, and become a emotional support for me, because like a lot of what I go through, just I just need to know that people care. That's really it. And like if I share these things with you and you don't want to know about them, you don't want to hear about them, then I don't want to tell you about them, you know? That, to me, that defeats the purpose. But if you care, if you want to know, then um, I gladly share. I gladly share what I know and what I've come to know, right? Something I've noticed recently that's it really bothers me. Okay. Um, so I'm a highly sensitive person, and I think when I was younger, I didn't like to admit that I was sensitive because I thought that if I was sensitive, it meant that I was weak. And I just needed to change my views on it, like my mind on it. Understand this is just who I am. And I'm really affected by my environment, the people who are in my environment, the energy that they pass between each other, like all that affects me a lot. And there are times when I hear things that I probably shouldn't hear because I'm not part of that conversation. So I should not be listening in, you know? But when I'm half asleep and half awake and I wake up at midnight and I hear something and I'm just trying to go back to sleep, I'm not trying to pay attention, you know, but I hear it anyway, um, then yeah, those thoughts can sink into my mind um, and cause me to have like these like internal fights, internal battles within myself, uh, without ever without ever confronting that person, because like I shouldn't have known in the first place anyway. Um, and the problem that I'm having is just my own problem. It's actually not their problem. They're probably fine, functioning in the way that they've always been. But me, like, because I overhear like irritation, a fight, an argument, things like that. Um, when I take a nap during the day, which is something that I've been doing, especially now that I'm not taking stimulants to keep me going, right? When I've taken naps during the day, I've grinded my teeth like pretty hard. Um, and I think it's just out of like frustration. It's out of um, like when you're mad at yourself and you don't want to um, you don't want to face it. Then when you have these dreams, you go through that there. Like you can't run away from it. It's still gonna come back to you, because we have to face these things, you know? And yeah, so I'm like grinding my teeth like really hard and I'm hallucinating as it happens. So even though I'm taking a nap during the day, um, I'm like half asleep, half awake. I'm in sleep paralysis, and I can hear everything in the room, but I'm visually seeing stuff that isn't really there. Um, it sounds like hell, but because I've had it all my life, I'm not afraid of it. It's just different. It's just like I know that I don't need to be putting my body through this. Um, and the way to not do that is to change your environment. Not be around the things that for the longest time we've put up with and we were okay with, um, for various reasons, right? But like I've needed to learn how to take care of myself as if I'm taking care of another person. So it's not that I'm just here for me, but like you want the best for other people. You would go out of your way for other people. At least friends of mine do that, and I would do the same thing. But when we think of ourselves, we don't give ourselves that much effort. It's not to that point. And so I've been taking care of myself lately in a way that is like taking care of another person. Like I care about you just as much. And um, and I've wanted to like improve my situation and where I'm at, just so that I don't have to deal with these additional things that they're not needed. It's just because we're in this situation that we're going through them, you know? So so yeah, I'm looking to get a place in Daybreak, and I love the atmosphere there. I love the vibe. I like to get a place out there, buy a Frenchie, to go out for walks in the morning. Like it's beautiful, and I would just walk outside. That's where I would live. Like how crazy is that? Um, and I know how to make it happen, and um, we're gonna do this year. Because if we can't go to these events and stuff, we might as well move up in life, and then when we get to go to these events later on, it'll be so much sweeter because we didn't just allow time to go by and not do anything. Like if 2020 was a year that was a bit of a stumble, we don't need to stumble again. Like we already stumbled, so let's get up and get to work. Let's get this going. Like um the world might be at a standstill, but um but we need to continue to press forward. Just a quick update when it comes to my fitness routine. I've noticed that on Mondays is the day that I struggle the most to really get going because I'm constantly like behind on a lot of things that I do. And those are the days that I've just decided, okay, I'm gonna just sleep in and I'm just gonna start my day later than usual, and we're not gonna go to the gym. And that's hard for me to say because Like, I go 7 days a week. Like, that's part of my life. That's, to me, it's like brushing my teeth or taking a shower. I will not go one day without brushing my teeth or taking a shower. So for me, I would not go one day without working out, doing something, right? Getting like my body moving, my blood pumping. And so I'm not just like in this space, just like sitting here for how long, doing my job. Like, okay, I know that generates money, but um, at what cost? You know, if I just give myself 2 hours of the day to just train, my body loosens up. It feels good. It it's like it. Okay, so I talk about um, receiving clarity of mind. I also receive a clarity with my body because it's like I'm pushing a reset button, again and again every single day, getting it ready to take on whatever it needs to go through throughout that day. I have some more recommendations that I wanted to give to you guys. Um, I am on Spotify now, so if you just want to listen on Spotify, you definitely can. Just type in Confessions of My Morning Cardio and it'll pop up. And I made a playlist. The playlist is called 22 Master Builder. And it is a playlist that I listen to when I'm writing. It helps me to get out of my own way. Because when you write, a lot of times you are thinking of like what to put down. As the words come to you, what I need to do and what I've been working on is just letting myself write, not adjusting it, but adjusting it later. So that way you're getting out all those thoughts, like everything that comes to you, all the inspiration, you're putting it down. And you're not just like stopping yourself, cutting yourself off too soon, too early, because because of the thoughts in your head. Like, there's a reason why we're receiving these things. There's a reason why we're the one who's writing these things down, and we can't say that we're not good enough or we don't deserve it, because look, it's coming to us and we're writing about it. So if that's the case, then we have to treat it in that sense, like we have to have the same respect for it that it has for us. Okay, so if you want to listen to something, a fun playlist, go check out 22 Master Builder on Spotify. And I'm going to continue to add songs to it as well over time, because those are the things that like help me to always have like something fresh to listen to. I felt like this podcast here just went all over the place, just everywhere. Well, it's an update. It's an update on my life. So, yeah. So if you're looking for something to watch on Netflix, then check out, there's a K-drama. It's called The Uncanny Counter. And it is very unique, very different. I really like it. Okay, we're so used to having everything at our fingertips that we forget that there was a time when if we saw a show that we liked, we had to wait a whole week to see the next episode. Like we also had to remember what time it would be on to catch the next episode. Like, we didn't have these streaming apps, that let us just watch the entire season in one day. Like, I know when I have my days where I'm just I've had a long night, I'm very out of it. Then I need something to like just put on, and then I might go for the whole entire the whole day just watching the same the same thing. But it's nice, you know. I think because we have things that are at our fingertips, and we have so many things that actually turn out pretty well. Like, they're good on their own, you know. Like, we don't need to compare them. They're good on their own, and if we just watch that, then we would understand the characters. We would see how it plays out. We would believe in the story, right? And so the uncanny counter. I don't know, what a weird name. Like, I'm sorry, but a lot of these Korean drama names, I don't know if they translate well to English, but some of them I'm like, why is it called that? Like, maybe you change the name, more people might watch that. But it's really good. The Uncanny Counter is like, I would put it up there with things that I watched when I was a kid that changed my life. Like Dragon Ball Z, Inuyasha, Full Metal Alchemist. And I know these are anime, you know, but that's what I watched growing up. Like, it wasn't, I didn't watch K-dramas until I was much older. Um, but it has so much. It has enough of like, it's done so well, and it's so believable that if it would have come out, you know, 5-10 years ago, I would definitely make sure that I turn the TV on at that exact time just to watch the next episode, because it's that good. And so, just a last update I wanted to share with you guys. I am 28,000 words into my organized writing. So I thought of doing this a few years back, and there was a lot of moments that I had that were reminders, like, hey, you need to get on that, because how many reminders do you need to get until you understand that you just need to do it? And I got to the point where I said, okay, I'm gonna have to, like, make a solid goal and really work at this and be consistent. And 2 years later from that, I'm at 28,000 words. And a lot of that is, like, a lot of the lessons that I learned growing up, my story, and the significance of the things that I went through. But I also did look up, like, what it takes to write your first book, and like an average, like, what people look for when it comes to books. And it said anywhere from 80,000 words to 110,000 words. So I'm like, I need 3 times what I wrote already, and then I'll have a book. But also, do you want to listen to me speak for 80,000 words? Like, I don't know if you want to, but yeah, it's just the next thing that I need to do in my life. hmm hmm And it is so much more fulfilling than doing other things, just like making money. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You know, you make it and you spend it, and where does it go? And maybe you invest it, and you realize that it's a, it's complicated, and it's a game as well, because if you've been watching crypto recently, like, Dogecoin was a joke. Okay, it wasn't supposed to be a real coin. I don't even know if they're even doing anything with this coin anyway. But it was supposed to be a joke, and people put money into it many, many years ago. And most recently, it spiked. Like, within one day, it was like 800% of its value. And all of a sudden, now people are like, oh shit, now we need to start putting money into this, because look, now people believe in it, right? And if you had money and I did, like the week before that, I had like a good $100 in there, and I just saw it like up, down, up, down, up, down, and it just wasn't going anywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, whatever. And so I pulled that out, and then that's when it spiked, like within a couple days. So I missed it. I missed it, um, but yeah, like if you're aware of these things, I'm sorry, but money just doesn't have the same value as as we thought it did. It's um I don't know. It's like all my extra money I'm putting into just making more money out of the money. And I don't know why I didn't do this for so many years growing up. Like, is it because I was not educated? Because we don't have the information? But that shouldn't be the end goal. Like, money's not what makes us happy. It isn't. It's our outreach, our impact, the way that we can help individuals, the way that we have done something that has been worth our time, you know? And that's what I would rather focus my time on. And when things open up again, then great, but we don't need to wait for them to open up again. We need to take care of what we can while we're in this, and just focus on what we can control. And thanks for listening, guys.